Tony Bennett's message to the team after the loss to San Francisco last week: we have work to do. And some of the results of that work were on display at JPJ as the Wahoos avoided back-to-back letdowns. And one of the notable changes was in the starting lineup. He's in a Los Angeles Rams practice these days, so he's not helping out, opening the door for a new QB1 this fall. The competition centered around Perkins' backup for the past 2 years in Brennan Armstrong and Mississippi State transfer Keaton Thompson. Joined by none other than Ahmad Hawkins, the ball hawk, to dive a little deeper into this matchup. Now, the Wahoos haven't beaten a top 10 opponent, Ahmad, since 2005 when that dadgum number 18 Marcus Hagans was at quarterback. Yeah, Danielle, from those Zoom meetings, players form what they're calling the Groundskeeper, a group with the mission to help the city and the UVA community take back their grounds. The original plan was to have players, coaches, and the community march together from here, where Heather Heyer's life was taken from her, all the way back to the Rotunda. But due to COVID-19, players had to march in smaller groups, but they still want the community to walk alongside them. It was the largest win in the Bronco Mendenhall era, 40 points over Abilene Christian, and it was Deshaun Perry's 84-yard interception return that sealed it, and he was also the one that broke the rock after the game for the Cavaliers. Joining us now for Cavalier Tip-Off is one of the newest members of the Oklahoma City Thunder and former Wahoo, Ty Jerome. Ty, let's just start there. With this shortened offseason, moves are coming, they're coming fast. They're coming rapidly. How did you find out about the trade, and what do you make of your new team? Second chances in college basketball are hard to come by. In all of sports, they're hard to come by, but that's exactly what Thomas Woldetensai found himself with tonight. Just moments after fouling a three-point shooter for North Carolina that eventually led to the Tar Heels taking a 1-point lead, Woldetensai hit the biggest three of his young UVA career. It's just been such a crazy offseason. It's been a crazy past couple months. What has it been like for you, just kind of getting adapted back to everything? You're starting in-person classes now, and now all of a sudden, we actually have a football season to play in front of us. It was lucky number 7 for the Wahoos as they beat Boston College for the first time in program history, highlighted by a huge night on offense. The most yards of total offense since UVA beat Ohio in 2018 down in Nashville. Now, Broncos said Monday their focus is on the process, not the outcome, and that the outcome will manifest itself at some point. Now, what will it take for those outcomes to start going in their favor now? More than 6 weeks of practice, 5 different season openers, and 0 positive cases contracted here in Charlottesville. Those are the numbers for the UVA football program, and now they are just 6 days away from actually opening their season against Duke. This Abilene game kind of reminded me of Thanos in the Avengers being asked, but what did it cost? And the answer is a lot. With the loss of Charles Snowden to injury for the season, Bronco said he did have his surgery and will be out for 6 months. How big of an impact is this on both on the field and off the field with Snowden out now?
2-point game.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But when life gives Virginia's Grant Kersey and Tomas Woldetensai a lot of time and a camera, you go viral.
We really just did the first one just to see kind of what would happen. Like, oh, I bet a few people would like this, but we didn't think it would happen in the way it did.
1, 2, ready, go!
Videos like theirs started popping up all over social media as people were forced to quarantine. But when Grant approached Tomas with the idea, the studio art major wanted to take it to another level.
I just like to be perfect in creation and art. So like anything that I like, the Trae Young video, right, is just regular, nothing special. I just push the boundaries of creation. He does the rest.
First the skills challenge, then the dunk contest.
Hey, do you believe you can do this?
Adding thousands of viewers each time before going for a play that hits a little closer to home.
Got a chance to win it here. Up the front, here's Diakite for the win.
We wanted to do a Virginia play, and we thought what better play to do than that one. Because that video, I mean, it's just so iconic, and it's recent, and being able to be a part of it is something that's really special. It
even gave Woldetensai a chance to be part of Virginia's national championship run when he says he was probably cooking when Diakite hit that shot.
I wasn't even thinking of being able to play for Virginia itself, so it was just watching it as a fan.
Now the viral Who's are throwing it back with one of the all-time greats in Ralph Sampson.
And he missed it, in and out, tipped outside, Sampson has it!
Anything to create a few smiles during an otherwise bleak time.
Social media right now is such a good platform to be able to connect with the fans still while there's no games and kind of everyone's doing their own thing. So if it brings a little light to their day, that's all we can ask for.
The smiles that we get from them.
For 2 decades now, Miss Kathy Magruder and Miss Kathy Brown have brought smiles and hugs to UVA students in the dining hall.
They turn our day around. You understand me? That's my reason for getting up going to work, because I've run across so many wonderful, wonderful kids.
So after being furloughed a month ago, it's clear what these ladies miss more than anything.
You know, of course you miss your money, but the relationship with those butt kickers up there, you could never put a price on it.
The two Miss Kathys have created a bond with so many students over the years, but especially former student athletes like Wahoo star Justin Anderson.
Unbelievable women. Great since I stepped foot on campus. I was only there for 3 years, but for every year of my 3 years, like, it was nothing better than walking into O Hill and Miss Kathy swiping your card.
To Anderson and so many, both were like parents away from home. So when he heard about their situation, all it took was one text for a flood of support.
When I put into the group text about Miss Kathy and Miss Brown, Isaiah Wilkins immediately reached out and said, yo, send me your number. And it was cool because it's like that chain reaction of everybody just like, yeah, like put the number in the chat, and everybody wanted to just reach out.
From that came the Locker Room Access NBA 2K tournament, with co-founders Ty Jerome and Anderson joining fans and other UVA alums to raise money for workers just like the Miss Kathys.
It's like that safe haven for me, you know, that little nest egg that I didn't have when I got laid off, because I had little or nothing, little next to nothing.
It's just amazing because you think of the titles that they hold now, and of all people on the face of this earth, the ones that they cared about both share the name Kathy.
Love and appreciation holding strong through an uncertain time.
Hey, baby, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Thank you so much for everything you did for me, baby.
And you can guarantee the day students walk back into the dining hall again, both will be there waiting with smiles.
We're going to turn it out. It's going to be fun. I just see fun and laughter and dancing and probably a couple of foot and elbow bumps.
The highlights say a lot about Blue Ridge's Andy Nwako, from the effort to the athleticism. But it can only tell you so much.
We're excited for him. We're excited to just see, what the next year takes, in 2 years and 3 years from now, because he's only scratched the surface of where he could be.
Nwako arrived at Blue Ridge a little more than 2 years ago, leaving his home country of Nigeria with the dream of playing Division I college basketball. But there was another sport waiting for him.
You know immediately, hey, this guy's a player. This guy's got some athleticism, and you can just kind of see it. So my interest in him was immediate. The idea of getting him to play football took a little bit more time.
Not only had Andy never played football, he knew almost nothing about the sport. But as soon as he stepped on the field, his passion took off.
The team was ahead of me. I just needed to catch up, and I was willing to understand the game. And my dad always told me, if you're going to do something, do it to the best. So I wanted to be the best in it.
In just 2 seasons, Nwako went from a novice to the State Defensive Player of the Year, and dreams of hoops turned to the gridiron.
Every day, he learned something new about the game, which that gave him more confidence, made him more excited.
I actually played just 18 games, and I feel like I'm just like this bread cup, and if I'm just like a diamond in the rough.
Nwako has received Division I offers from around the country, but so far nothing in state, giving the senior a chip on his shoulder.
Every top player's always had the criticism of like, oh, he's not good enough. I feel like if I get to that level, I'm gonna prove others, the haters, wrong.
Wherever that next level is for Nwako, his aspirations won't stop there.
The ceiling for Andy is unlimited. The exciting thing to me as a coach is we don't really know yet how good he can be.
As a student athlete, the dream is always to go to a good college and get a good education. But for me, I think I might one day play in the NFL. The dream is to play in the NFL.
At Blue Ridge, Preston Willett, CBS 19 Sports.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Granddad said anything you want to be great at, you got to beat the sun to work. So every day before we start, get out here early, you get your work in, and before the sun's up, you're almost done. You're ahead of the world.
Not everyone thinks of starting their day with a 6 a.m. run through Charlottesville, but the prolific run crew continues to draw crowds.
You get that crazy look because we are walking an alarm clock. We are running an alarm clock, we like to say. You just want to wake people up, get in great spirits, man, and when you get that blood flowing.
It's Friday morning, baby!
But this 5K goes beyond just cardio, bringing together people all throughout the Charlottesville area, leaving no one behind.
We're a space. We actually just happen to run 4 miles, but we're really a space. And those neighborhoods and communities we run through, that's really what it's all about.
I think it bridges gaps. You know, there's a lot of people from all different walks of life, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different religions, and the common goal is that everybody is for a change, for a better world.
During a summer of social unrest around the country, community leaders like Wes Bellamy saw a chance for Charlottesville to take a step forward, just by simply running.
When you see everything that's going on around the country, I always look at Charlottesville as a catalyst for change. We've already been through some of the strife that other places have been through, but now we're also leading how you bring communities together.
The run follows a specific route going through predominantly black communities around the city, opening eyes and doors for people into unfamiliar parts of their home.
It was an opportunity to make Charlottesville real, to see what the housing projects look like and where they are. And I'd been living this blessed life, but I hadn't been real in a true life of Charlottesville.
In just a few months, people have gone from strangers running alongside each other to friends, making a difference where their feet fall.
There's different ways to make your statement. You can protest, you can come united together in this run, you can write, and we all got to express ourselves. I truly feel like silence is complicit at this point. We've got to come out and express our views.
No man, no woman left behind. We are all in this together, and I think it's a microcosm of the community. We're not leaving anyone, and we're all in this together. We all, as a unit, make this a better place.
In Charlottesville, Preston Willett, CBS 19 Sports.